Welcome to the Coquitlam Whiskey Barrel Podcast with your hosts, Uncle Corey and Uncle Dono.
Recording off some bullshit.
He left his Stanley Cup back on the ice in 1980.
It's embarrassing.
Let's give Corey a round of applause like you were the fucking service staff at a wedding.
Who shot you? Separate the weak from the obsolete.
I think that's the sound that people want to open to.
I've heard good reviews on that. I mean, our producer gets that can crack ready to go and the little ice swirl ready.
Yeah, and Kurt really likes this. He likes the ice against the glass.
Well, Angela knows what she's doing these days. I mean, we had to bump her up her salary a little bit just to get her to figure her shit out.
Well,
she's been pissing us off lately.
Late
on the mic, showing up drunk.
Yeah, which we kind of encourage because we do this half in the bag as well. But it's we've got a level of professionalism that we try to uphold.
Yeah, we do.
Like eating salami while podcasting. We both have 2 drinks in front of us, including some gherkins. That's pickles to you uneducated fucks.
For the layman's.
For the lame men. I know you give me the heads up, but I'm still behind. I'm not all activity.
That's okay. Don's gonna open up the phones right now.
Shit. See, I'm even distracted.
He's distracted. It's gonna be a hot episode. Just a little teaser. Things might get aggressive. People might not be happy with what they hear. And in previewing and kind of when we sat down in the green room before we kind of came into the Wendy Law Studios.
Yeah.
In discussions of what the lineup was gonna be today, we ourselves got a little bit hot. So it's. Who knows? We got the fan cranked.
Yes.
That's all we can really hope for.
Yeah.
Just first and foremost, I just want to say we've got a fantastic plate of gabagool in front of us, as we usually do.
Yeah.
We've reached out to a few people, and we're going no special guests today because I think people are tired of hearing the special guests, and they just want to hear the 2 gurus get after it.
I don't want to say that they're tired of them. If anybody's tired of anything, I'm sick and tired of people saying that they want to be on. We keep saying Wednesday night, and still nobody is pressing 311. Like, I don't know what's going on here. Like, I'm beginning to respect the Kurtz of the world, respect the Hintons of the world, in the sense of they had the balls to walk into the Lion's Den, say their 2 cents, and make it happen. Yes,
a guy who's not even in our league.
Yes.
Stepped into the Dragon's Den.
Yes. Yeah, that happened. Yes, exactly. Not even in our league. 0 investment. And he still walked in and said, not only was I in your league, I colluded, I cheated, your commissioner allowed it to happen. Let me unravel that fucking ball of yarn. And guess what? Everybody else still silence. Radio silence. And you wonder why you get mocked. It's not stopping today. The mocking will continue, including to the commissioner who, yes, he's called in once to send us an I love you Valentine's Day card. Instead, we need his face in here. We need the heat. We need his voice to get all, hi, what about me? We need that. Sorry if that hurt your ears. If you're listening on iTunes, which you're not because we don't have it on iTunes, because we are homeless and have no idea how to actually make that happen. So if you're listening to here's a call to action. If you're listening and have any idea how we get recording onto iTunes without having, I don't know, with just in the most layman's terms possible, we would gladly do it. We just have no idea what we're doing. I barely know how to turn this laptop on. It's taking me 7 minutes to open the phones, and all I'm trying to do is multitask, and neither is being successful right now.
I'm just saying, come over for 10 minutes and show us how to do this if it's so easy, because we're hopeless. But you know what? We still get 100+ views on YouTube, so for the 10 people that should be listening, we're happy that we have another 100 fans, which is great. And this is why we do it every week, and we're going to keep doing it.
I enjoy hearing from people who don't even know about fantasy football, but they just tune in to listen to us rip on the idiots that are in our league. That's the only reason they're listening. Yeah. Is to know who I'm going to rip on next and who you're going to cross the line with impossibly while I awkwardly stare at you and go, you probably shouldn't have said that.
It's the classic.
But you're the hero of the league.
That's what I'm saying. People love a good versus evil story.
And you're the good.
And they're tuning in for the next, what do we got? 4 weeks left of the regular season, another 3. So we got 7 weeks left of the fantasy season. Mm-hmm. And they want to see, at the end of the day, the hero that is Team 86 Rodrigo go one-on-one with the villain that is the king and his men and slay the shit out of him, much like I did him and his son in 2 other leagues this week.
Okay. See, okay, wait.
I gotta bring that. I'm not. Just don't even start. I'm just ending it there.
Fine.
And I'm gonna end the evil king's reign. That's what it is.
That's fine.
But people love good versus evil because they know in the end good prevails.
I know, but
And the
I just have to cut you off before the second you mention family. I have to stop it.
I didn't. I just said.
I know It was a factual statement what you said.
Angela, Jesus, you ruined that. We've, as I was saying, we've gone before and talked about how proud we are, and we wish that we have kids that will play fantasy football.
Yeah,
and we
that's
can
the
play
dream.
Together.
That's the dream.
So there's no slight there whatsoever.
Yeah, I didn't think there was. I'm just saying.
You tried to take it there. You tried to.
And then
dig me
Angela
in.
fucked up, so it really looked like you said
I
something.
know it did. The
Now it's
hero
too
that I
late.
am tried to dig me into that hole with you.
I kept your Clark Kent fucking suit on. Your glasses couldn't go anywhere.
Just as an aside, I did have a little chat with one of my guys on my soccer team talking about gabagool because he's Italian.
Of course.
And he goes, "Did you go for it? Did you ask for it? What happened? What did you do?" And I go, "No one knows what the hell gabagool is over there." And he goes, "I told you." No one has any idea. And but how good was it? And they go, fresh off the hoof. It doesn't get any better.
Yeah, fresh off the hoof. That hoof was $900 or whatever. 850 pounds for that hoof?
850 pounds for that one in London, which didn't even compare to that one where that guy was just making that sandwich for us in that back alley in Rome. Man, that was delicious.
Okay. They're sick and tired of hearing about our vacation. I'm still trying to open up the phones. Anyways, how's everything else been going? How's life, man?
Good week, fantasy week for me, and good week finding out that my vacation leg injury is on its
pooling. Is pooling.
It's on its way to recovery. It's a 6-month process, and I'm going to get there, and then it'll be fine.
On its way to recovery. Yeah. It's a 6 month process. You're having a baby out of your leg. And by the end, your ankle will split open and breach, and they'll have to stitch you up, and Ash will be unhappy with the way your ankle looks for a while.
Well, that's okay. I mean, I'm not allowed to fly or use heavy machinery for the next little while, but that's fine with me. I wasn't planning on doing that anyway.
That's the price you pay. I don't even know how to add a recipient. Oh, edit one. Okay, sorry. I'm onto it right here. How did you make it this far? You, who's listening right now, like honestly, how did you fucking make it this far?
Well, the good news is we've had a lot of requests from people outside of our league, and we are...
we're going to look
That's reciprocating, and we're going to open the phones to other people because we already have a submission into the Ashley Sayers inbox and a question from another fantasy league, so we're going to keep that kind of stuff open, and we're going to pursue other avenues because people want to hear, and people outside our league have questions for 2 of the greatest fantasy minds that are podcasting these days.
Yeah, and that's just the reality of the situation. Is this fantasy is it's a community. It's a random community of weirdos who really enjoy watching football and just gambling. Like it's just a pick 'em. It's a try to outsmart them. There's so many layers to it, just like sport in general. But that's still that community. If I meet somebody that I've never met before, say I'm at a wedding and I'm sitting down next to some schlub, and he says to me, "Oh, hey, how you doing?"
You usually are because you're always like at the back table. You're always that guy who's like, "I guess we have to have Donovan here," and so who can we put him with? Well, he doesn't really like anybody or know anybody, so we'll just feed him into this table where we're missing one slot to make it.
Near the bar and the back.
Yeah.
And then if that's not my role, it's give him the mic because Don wants to entertain everybody. When would Don ever want to have dinner at the proper time that the rest of us are having?
You eat dinner at 4 in the morning, so it doesn't matter to you. You just want it warm.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't like eating a cold piece of roast beef.
I also don't always like to stand up in front of 200 people. Anyways.
That's bullshit. You love the
Okay,
attention.
whatever. Where were we going? Okay, yeah, right. So if I'm sitting next to a guy, some jabroni, and I say to him, And he's doing the normal thing. What do you do? Are you married? Or do you have kids?
Why is that the conversation that we talk about? Oh, nice day today, hey?
Because that's what most people, the majority of the public, that's the conversation they want to have. Is that because
we need to change that.
They're being polite. See, that's the problem. No, it's not. We need to change it. Social norms are just being polite and being kind to people and just hey. Finding common ground. I can never find common ground like I can with somebody who plays fantasy football. If we are sitting next to each other, I don't know if I've never, but it's like, you play fantasy? Yeah, I do. Oh, okay. Well, I got burned. I drafted David Johnson and Allen Robinson and then and Odell Beckham. It's like, oh man, dude. And next thing you know, you're laughing, you're shooting the shit. That's when you grab that guy by the hand, kiss his cheek, and say, "Let's go get a drink."
So that's the precursor to... Why are you kissing his hand?
I don't know.
That's the precursor to talking about what we really want to talk about, which is boozing and women.
Yes. Yeah.
So why don't we just skip the bullshit and go straight to it?
Oh, when we're at a wedding. I thought you meant right now. It's like,
no, well, we have to feel comfortable with someone.
Oh, yeah.
Comfortable with someone before you can say...
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not happy about it. I'm never comfortable with it. That's why I don't like weddings. It's why I drink in public. Because I prefer to not talk to you. I prefer not to be here with you. Yeah. So if I'm going to be, I'd rather have a couple of cocktails and we'd both be more entertained with it.
It's the only way I could get you onto this podcast.
If we couldn't drink, not a chance. Wouldn't be here. You'd be by yourself in Wendy Law Studios, mucking in the Ashley Sayers inbox. Eating gabagool while I was just out there.
You wouldn't let me drown. I'd go solo one day. You wouldn't let me drown. You'd be coming in. You'd be my everyday guest. I'd say, hey, Don, what are you doing on Wednesday night? I'm available. Unlike our shitty commissioner, you'd be available for me.
That's the problem. Our shitty commissioner, make an appearance. Stand up for yourself. I couldn't find a bigger punching bag that we just keep feeding body shots. Like, come in. Talk some shit back or do something. But about our shitty commissioner, guess what? He did this week. Traded Kareem Hunt. And you know why he did that?
Because he listens to us.
Thank you very much. Yeah. That's exactly what happened. I'm not going to get into the specifics about that trade, but he traded Kareem Hunt to me. And that is just because I like Kareem Hunt and I like that he listens to the podcast. That's all I'll say about that.
You know, I will say that our league has seen a fantastic shift, not only in fantasy football knowledge, but in trades.
Yeah.
The trades this year have been
this
more
last
so
week,
than ever.
Again, the last 2 weeks, it's been active.
And we're happy that people are doing it, and sometimes they may not be the smartest move, but people are making moves and they're trying to do things and they're not resting and they're trying to pick up wins and not necessarily looking to keep a guy, not having David Johnson stashed on your bench, although I think he's still stashed on someone's bench for no reason. It's win now, figure out next year.
I know. Well,
there's no reason to say that you keep David Johnson and he has an issue coming back and needs another surgery and he's out for the first 6 weeks next year.
Yeah. No.
There's nothing to say you keep him and he blows out his knee in preseason.
We talked about this last week when it came to Brad and Amit. They were first pick, but they had no keepers. They picked Antonio Brown. Everything's worked out well for them. They're a juggernaut. They're making they're making aggressive amount of moves and they've got an aggressive amount of points. That's the point. You don't need keepers. Keepers are great. I'd like to banish them. I don't care about them, but it's another way to manipulate the system and trades towards the end of the year, as I'm looking at doing. But that's the rules I'm allowed. I'm like the Donald Trump of fantasy football. If you're going to allow me to do it, I'm going to do it. If I can trade with Chris Hinton, who's basically out for a keeper, and he plans to keep them, for the last 6 years, that's been allowed. I don't like it, but it's been allowed. So I don't know why we can't do it anymore.
Well, we're going to have these kind of conversations come the offseason and really try to fix the league that is broken. And
drain the swamp, as it were. We're going to try to drain the swamp. You know what we'll bring in?
Well, we got this little rocket man running our league, right? And
rocket.
I don't know what he thinks he's doing, but if he doesn't fix things, we are going to meet him with fire and fury like he's never seen before.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure.
To steal a line from your
I get
apparent mentor.
Yeah, I get it. That's fine. There's a Rocket Man. Oh, I didn't get the Rocket Man.
He's
thing
short.
first.
He has a big head.
Yeah, I got it. It's good. That's funny. Yeah. I'm still trying to open up the phones. I don't know who the hell this is.
Fucking Christ.
Yeah.
It's already gone south and we haven't even started.
It hasn't gone south. Trying to, do something. I'm not sure really what I'm supposed to be doing.
Well, let's talk commissioner.
Yes. You want to talk about our commissioner or my other league's commissioner?
Well, let's talk about our poor commissioner first before we talk about your even worse one.
Okay. Well, sure.
I had a matchup with him this week. And interestingly enough, I mean, you look at the matchup, just the score itself, 99-92.
Yeah.
That's a great matchup. It looks like a tight score.
That's what you've been preaching the entire time. You get between 95 and 105 and you're thrilled with your week.
Yeah. Win or lose, you're doing well. If you put that up every week, chances are you're probably going to make the playoffs, and you get the right schedule, you can probably win the whole thing.
Yep.
And then we click into the old quick box score.
Yeah, this is controversial. This is where
we're going to have a bit of an issue.
Well, yeah, please, sorry. Tell the story.
Well,
phones are open.
All right, the phones are open. We're ready to go. Feel free to call in at your leisure. Mm-hmm. Mr. Commissioner, I don't... Not to throw him completely down the river, but he was a little bit overserved on Saturday night.
Considering he served himself, I would say that I don't know if he was overserved or he overserved himself.
He was overserved by himself. That's the correct answer to the story.
Yeah.
Needless to say, he made it wasn't even a late night trade. Well, I guess it was, but in the context of the evening, he was still awake and coherent for at least another 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah.
Post trade.
Yeah.
That being
what the shit is that in my drink? What is that?
That's just a bad ice cube.
How do you have a bad ice cube?
Looks
ice
like
cube
something got onto it and got a little bit of mold on it. So just pull that ice cube out and you'll be okay.
I can't. What the fuck is going on here?
We're gonna take a quick pause and fix Don's drink.
No,
and then we'll
it's
be back
fine.
to the
Keep
story.
it going. It's fine. Continue with your story. I'll drink through it. It's fine.
Oh God.
Sorry. But I just saw it. It looked like a fucking...
now you got a floaty.
It looked like a beetle was in my drink. Anyways, sorry.
Needless to say, the commissioner's lineup goes like this. Jared Goff at quarterback, C.J. Anderson at running back, Duke Johnson Jr. on a bye as his RB2, Will Fuller and Marvin Jones at wide receiver, no tight end, Jay Ajayi in his flex, Falcons D, and Harrison Butt Kicker as his kicker.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there was no issues bench-wise. He had a full bench to play players. He could have chose from Robbie Anderson, Marcus Mariota, Charles Clay, Jamal Charles, and Delaney Walker. So he had room to fill his lineup.
Yes.
Now, I always preach that if you think you're out of it or if you think you're going to have a bad week, you're still should be playing a full lineup because it can drastically affect the playoff standings.
Of course.
Especially this late in the year. Teams that sell out, teams that aren't still trying to win. If there's a guy who's two guys fighting to get into the playoffs and one guy has an easier schedule and guys don't play players, that can have an effect.
Of course.
Now, back to his 91 points, 40 from Jared Goff, 24 from Marvin Jones. That's where he gets the bulk of his play. So, fair play to him. He put up a great score. Had he played Delaney Walker in his tight end position and even Jamal Charles, who only put up 3 points as a running back instead of a guy on a bye, he would have won.
Yep.
So the standings are skewed.
They are skewed. And
at the end of the day, what does that come down to? Overserving himself and not being aware of his fantasy lineup?
Yeah.
Did he not wake up at 9 o'clock? I mean, I'm sure his kids woke him up.
100%. He would have been up.
So, to be the leader of our league, to be the figurehead, what punishment fits that crime? Because that can't be allowed.
Well, at the very least, it's a scar on our league. Week 9 will forever go down as the time that the commissioner didn't even set his lineup. And it's not like he was camping in the middle of the wilderness. It's not like he's battling the tundra, hunting for seals. He's at home in his computer room nursing a hangover. And dude can't even swap out two players. If he doesn't have the foresight, the fortitude, the foreseement of I got a league to play today. what am I supposed to give a shit for? Why don't I just phone the rest of the year in? We created a podcast based on this league, and if we can't get that type of support back from the commissioner to just, at the very least, set your lineup, the post office is rain, sleet, or snow, or shine. Mike, just move that guy from your bench into your starting lineup. I don't even think that's that difficult. And we're not even making you to wear weird shorts. We're nothing like the post office.
They wear weird shorts?
Yeah.
Like the UPS guys do. The post guys, they just wear pants.
I don't know. I've never seen one.
Me either.
Yeah.
Do they even exist anymore?
No idea. No idea.
God.
I have no idea how anything gets anywhere. I feel like it's all drones.
It's fantastically quick. Well, Amazon's got drones coming.
I know. I'm gonna get Amazon Prime. Although I've never ordered anything online, but I've been told I got to get on it.
I did Amazon Prime, like the free trial, because you got notification of when something came available through whatever system.
Oh, okay. Stuff that you were looking for?
Yeah, basically took a free trial for a month just so I could get this early access. Got it and then canceled it because you're paying monthly regardless of what you order.
Yeah, it's like me and Audible. I pay monthly and I don't listen to any of the books.
Well, you can't read, so how can you expect to
It's
listen?
Audible.
Yeah.
It's audio.
How can you expect to listen to someone read?
Yeah.
Back to our commissioner again.
Punishment.
We need to discuss this, and we'll probably open up a little bit of a poll on the message boards because they've been very soft this year, the message boards. I don't know if you've noticed or not.
It's only been, hey, the podcast is up.
Yeah.
And nobody even comments in the message board at all. You'd think with the amount of people that have mentioned to me about this stupid podcast, how much, like, you'd think that this would rile the league up. Instead, it's let them rest on their laurels. They let us do the all of the shit talking.
We're the league shield. We're the league shield, and they're all hiding behind us while we throw bullets.
Yeah, yes.
And take bullets.
You're absolutely right. You know what? That's right. Because when I'm going to trash Brad and Amit, or you're going to trash Perry, or Hinton's going to whatever.
I don't trash, as the good citizen of this league and the hero that I am, I don't trash Perry. I just give the facts and try to be the stand-up, respectful guy that I am. Really respecting the industry that we're in. So I'm not saying trash as much as...
Okay, fair enough.
Trying to defend the light.
I think to clear that up then, I think what could be said is the rest of the league relies on us to pull back the curtain and open up the travesties that are happening.
Yes.
So the ad drops that are ridiculous, they're hoping we comment on. The bullshit trades, they're hoping we comment on. The start sits that aren't being done or should be done, they're hoping we comment on. And I guess because it's been radio silence and nobody knows how to type anything anymore, maybe we're doing a good job.
Like, would it kill...
But we never get any... Oh, no.
I mean, it would be great if we could get, what do you want? You want, like, Dan to call in and say, hey, how about Sully picking up a kicker and using his number one waiver spot?
Yeah.
Like, and just like something like that, just as an example, not as just a complete aside. Not that happened, but we want you guys to be interactive as well. We're trying to open the phones for you. We're trying to let you text in all day, all week. You can give us information and stuff we want to talk about because we're open to that because this is, at the end of the day, the podcast for the league, regardless of the other 200 people that are listening.
Yeah. Well, there's not 200 other people. I think it's like... I don't know who's listening.
Well,
but...
we did hire all those bots in India to just click on the YouTube link. And...
I wish they would stop. I'd like to have a reason to... I can sit, get drunk, and eat gabagool with you every Wednesday. I don't need it to be recorded, but the fact that more than 12 people listen is the only reason I'm here.
Well, your place of business has a few different locations, and you were telling me this week that you were at another location.
Yes, I was.
Completely separate from... there's no crossover whatsoever, and you had 5 people asking about the Whiskey Barrel
commenting on the Whiskey Barrel Podcast, yes.
Which
absolutely.
is fantastic. So we're taking it global.
Yeah, well...
We've been to Dubrovnik.
Yeah.
Where to next?
Yeah,
maybe Lac de Roche. We might be doing one live from Lac de Roche.
Oh, that's greasy.
Well, you never know.
Well, if my cell phone signal gets out there, a nice live greasy one from Lac de Roche. If you don't know where Lac de Roche is, it's in the middle of nowhere. Anyways,
We're going to go see what ice fishing's all about.
So are we... It's tough, but we can do it. Okay, so are we punishing Faniff or not?
I think we're going to put that out to the league.
Okay, so that's it. So should there be a punishment for not setting your lineup? Because if he's not going to do it again, we're going to have to strip him of something because you can't do that. This is too competitive a league. There's too many 5-4, 6-3s, 4-5s. There's too much. We can't have an automatic bye week. And if, Mike, you don't give a shit enough to set your line, well, then I'm sorry. Sorry, Commissioner. Then I'm sorry. Something's going to need to be done about that. Now, do I want to take over this league? Absolutely not. Did you want to slough this over to Sayers? Absolutely you did. But we'd rather just be the peanut gallery that talks all the smack while you do the work. But unfortunately, you're not even doing the work. So I know the best part about management is delegating, but you're not even delegating. It's just not getting done. And if you were the head of a garbage picking up company and there was just garbage in the streets and you were just like, I don't care, well, guess what? That's not the job getting done and there's garbage everywhere. And that's what his team looks like right now.
Just to finish off on this subject, I know, Jesus, do they wear funny shorts too? Garbage?
I don't know, man. Fuck.
Just to finish off and clear the air before we get into the inbox, I have a 9:30 a.m. alarm every Sunday.
Somebody's asking me about the podcast and about how do I live stream it? No, we're not live streaming.
We could have. It would have been terrible. We were filming it with a potato, but that's okay. I have a Sunday a.m. 9:30 alarm.
Okay.
Just so, in the fact that we do stay up till 4 a.m. watching GSP beat the shit out of Michael Bisping and drink bottles and bottles of booze and I'm blind.
Yeah.
At least something wakes me up to one-eye my lineup for 5 minutes before I go back to bed.
Yeah, and that's fair. Because you say that now, but you even said that to me on Saturday night when I was playing your wife in another league, and I said, Ash, this lineup is atrocious. You need to adjust this. Even I'm playing her, and I'm like, can't start him. You got to start him. What are you doing here? So, I'm playing you. I'm like, yeah, but I don't. If I'm going to lose or I'm going to win, I don't want there to be excuses.
Yeah.
And you said, Dawn, don't worry. We're up before 9 to set our lineups. And I said, go fuck yourself. My lineup's solid. Yeah, well, I woke up at 10:30, and Leonard Fournette had been suspended for giving the finger to a camera or something.
Just didn't go to his team photo.
Yeah, he didn't pass around some gum when other people had garlic bread. Like, I have no idea what he did to be a healthy scratch, but I didn't start him after just trading 5 players for him, and I got 0 points in turn.
And who won your matchup between you and a girl who's never played fantasy football before?
Well, that's her second year, and she won.
So, just a memo to the kids out there. Just set an alarm for 9:30 and wake up with one eye. Take 5 minutes to see who's in and out. Set your lineup. Go back to bed for whatever reason. So I did that, and I kind of looked, and I'm like, oh, Fanoff hasn't set his lineup yet. Oh, well, whatever. I'm not going to pay attention. I'm sure he'll get it in before 10. That's no problem.
Yeah.
And then woke back up. I usually try to get up at least for the 10 o'clock game, so it might have been 10:15. And nothing changed from him. And the sick thing that I thought was knowing the commissioner that he is, he may go in and automatically put those players in even after the games have started. That's the low browness I can see from this kind of guy.
Oh, I get what you're saying. That's the headspace you put yourself in.
Yeah,
if
to the point that I screenshotted our lineups.
Well, that's because you're paranoid.
10:05. No, just because, in case there was that thing, and he could have messaged me at 10:10 and said, oh shit, whatever, blah blah blah, and I'd be like, dude, throw him in. I'm not gonna play that way, right? It's not. Oh, if who could he have started? Oh, if Delaney Walker didn't score a 100-yard touchdown on the first play of the game, I would have been like, yeah, go for it. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, 100%. He's got 1.2 points.
Yeah,
get him. The quarter just started. Yeah, get him in. Yeah, no, totally, I get it.
But anyway, so we're gonna put it out. We'll put up a little poll when we post the podcast. Or just a little bit of a discussion thread as to what the punishment should be, because we feel that there should be one.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we're all adults here. We can all set a line. We're all playing for one thing, and hopefully he didn't cost someone a playoff spot and possibly a championship, because as we saw last year, a losing record in last place getting into the playoffs can win the whole thing.
Yeah, it absolutely can.
He's essentially taking money out of young people's pockets is how I look at it.
Whoa.
And hopefully he feels good about that, because I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if I was that kind of guy.
But he sleeps soundly. He doesn't care. He's made of stone. And the youngest person in our league just had a kid. It's great work, Mike.
Yeah. You're taking food out of that baby's mouth. Possibly heat. Maybe you can't pay the heat bill.
And it's getting cold, Mike. Ice.
Winter's coming.
Cold.
You know nothing, Mike. You know nothing.
You know nothing, Mike. Fanoof.
Don't name names. Yeah, so that's where we're at. We've had a couple messages. Do you want to open up the inbox now?
No, none of it's good. I just had literally somebody message me and say, open up. Sorry, it is.
They want us to live stream?
Live stream it, and I'm not even kidding. I'm not even paraphrasing. It's live stream it, then paint me like one of your French girls. I get the Titanic reference, but I don't understand.
Is this a female that texted you?
No, it's a big, burly, hairy man that texted me.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, I don't know. This is what happens when you open the phone lines to people that you just want to trash. Which, can I get into that? Or do you want to talk real shop?
Well, first things first, people have requested us to video, and I don't know why they just want to stare at our stupid faces, talk to each other, but...
Yeah, nothing interesting has happened.
No.
You did dress it up, though. You got the jerseys on the back side
well,
of the
I moved a bit of the issues, or Wendy, moved some of the stuff around in the studio just in case we did want to live stream it, but this is ridiculous.
It looks like we like football because there's jerseys hanging up on the wall.
We've really set the scene. I do have a message into the Ashley Sayers inbox.
Please, open that up because mine is full of... I don't even know what to do with that.
We've had promised phone calls and there's been none, so that's fine.
Paint me like one of your French girls?
That's such a strange... I didn't know you had like a French girl on the side. Does Wendy know?
It's from Titanic.
That doesn't make any sense.
Rose, you know when she says, "Go ahead, Jack, paint me like one of your French girls."
Yeah, she's
all
all
lays
naked
down all
shit.
hot and naked.
But why does he want us to do that?
Still keeping it going.
She doesn't hold up.
You shut your fucking whore mouth. She absolutely does. And she's talented. You ever seen The Holiday? Fucking hell of a movie. Anyway, so my inbox is 3 messages of bullshit. Give me something.
All right, so this is a GM of his own.
We'll go down another pipe of the Ashley Sayers inbox.
Yeah. This message came early and through the back door. It's fucking strange.
From who?
Not gonna get into the. I'm not naming names.
We don't name names.
You don't want to get blacklisted at Hop Sing. So this is from a GM from another league, and we'll try to help him out here, as he obviously looks to us for some good advice and a regular listener of the podcast.
As they do.
So this is a message as I can read it specifically. So I only have 2 moves left. This is a league where there are only allowed to be 15 ad drops per season. Nice work. You'd saved the beetle from going into your glass.
Okay, anyways, I'm talented. Continue.
So you're only allowed 15 ad drops through the whole season.
Got it.
Okay. So I only have 2 moves left.
Okay.
I was forced to drop Gostowski last week on bye.
Forced to drop. It's a kicker. You're never forced to. It's just a...
Yes, but you only have 15.
Sorry, I have to focus on that. Okay, got it.
You only have 15. So you can think of you only really have 13 because you're probably going to drop a kicker for another kicker on his bye and a defense.
Got it. Yep.
Forced to drop Gostowski last week, and I picked up Houston's kicker because I liked his schedule and figured Deshaun Watson would keep the offense moving.
Sure.
Fine idea. Now, terrible idea because they can't score worth shit because they have Smoking Tom Savage doing nothing.
Okay, but to just interject with that, just with that philosophy of the defense, the offense will keep moving. Traditionally, other than Gostowski, which ironically he had, high-powered offenses don't even really generate that much with kickers. You need offenses that almost get there.
Justin Tucker,
Baltimore. Like that
can get it to the 30, and that's it.
And that's just it. They're going to put 3 points up, 3 points up, 3 points up. You know, name me the last Green Bay Packers kicker that was really that good.
Yeah, Mason Crosby would get like 5 points a game.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh my god. Yeah, it's all singles. So that's what I'm saying.
Yep.
So that philosophy doesn't really work. So to start his question, you already dropped Gostowski for the wrong reason. You picked up the kicker for the wrong reason. That's not. You want guys that almost get there, like the Rams kicker.
But a team that's going to put up like 40+ points, you're going to have some.
Yeah, sure. You're guaranteed 6 points. Okay, fine. Yeah. That's fine.
That's why we want to get rid of kickers anyway, because
I fucking hate kickers. I don't think they should be on.
So now I don't know if Houston. He says now I don't know if Houston will ever get into field goal range ever again.
They did once.
Yeah,
last
and I
week.
think he missed it.
Yeah.
He did miss it because coming up in our future matchups, that missed field goal cost someone a 0.3 loss.
Oh, okay.
Would you pick up another kicker instead and leave yourself with only one ad drop left? Now, this guy needs a win. He's trying to get into the playoffs. He's bought some players. He's sacrificed some draft picks next year to buy some playoffs or players. But I think he's like at the 9-10 range. Like as soon when he bought players, he's gone kind of south.
Okay.
And people that have sold draft picks are still hanging on for whatever reason because you never know who's going to go off.
Okay.
So would you pick up? So we've got 4 weeks left.
Oh, we have options too. Okay, great.
We got 4 weeks left plus playoffs.
And he's only got one more.
He's got 2 left.
2 ad drops.
So he goes with Kaimi Fairbairn, the Houston kicker.
No, it just keeps him and still has his 2 options, right?
Yeah. Or would you pick up another kicker instead and leave himself with just one more ad drop?
Roll the dice.
Is he on bye this week? Does he have
No,
Kaimi?
the Texans are already done with their bye, so that's fine. Kaimi, I don't know. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'm not up to date with all the kickers.
Yeah,
Kaimi Fairbairn? I feel like you're reading that wrong, or he's spelling it wrong. Kai Forbath? No, that's Minnesota.
No. Go. There he is, right there. Kaimi Fairbairn. How I couldn't spell it out for you better. Kaimi Fairbairn.
I think that'd be Kaimi.
There's an apostrophe.
Yeah, so Kaimi.
Okay.
I don't know.
You're gonna go whatever. What?
Who gives a shit?
He sounds like he's Hawaiian.
Well, maybe he is. I don't know.
Can they kick things? I thought they only chop pineapples.
Why did he pick him up? He's the number 20 kicker.
Because when he picked him up, he was
lighting
it up with Houston, right?
Was he? 8-5-2. I'm sorry. My argument holds strong that the powered offense for other than those 2 weeks was 1-7-2-5-8-2.
Okay, so here's the thing though. He dropped Gostowski.
So he wants to pick
So does he
Gostowski
roll? Does he
again?
just roll with Fairbairn the rest of the way?
Yes, because Fairbairn is just that. Well, sorry, it depends what kicker he can pick up.
That's what I'm saying. He's only got 2 ad drops left. So what would you do?
Well, we've got Kai Forbath on our waivers, and he's 8, 13, 22, 15. So if you can get Kai Forbath, anonymous messenger, in the box of Ashley, go nuts. Other than that, roll with the punches.
Okay, here's who's available.
You can't project.
Kai Forbath is available.
He's available.
Nick Rose from Washington. Chandler
Kai
Catanzaro.
Forbath is number 1. Pick him up.
Okay, there's your answer. Pick up Kai Forbath, roll with 1 ad drop for the rest of the year.
No, it's not.
Roll Fairbairn.
I need to know who else is on the, what other flex is available.
Oh, sorry, you need to know.
Yeah, okay, you're one of them is going to be a kicker indefinitely. Okay, pick up the best kicker available.
Or do you want Matt Forte?
Matt Forte.
Right.
Done.
Robert Woods, Delaney Walker.
Both. All 3. No problem. Build the rest of your roster. You're resting on random points from a kicker. Unfortunately, at this point, you know what? Here's a better piece of advice. What you should do is go up to anybody else who thinks like me, doesn't know what... I'm in 7 leagues. I don't know a single kicker that I have in any single one league. So go up to somebody like me who doesn't even know what kicker they have and make a trade for their kicker that you like with something else. Just package something with a kicker. One of your bench players for a kicker. And if they don't make that trade, well then mock them ruthlessly because kickers are fucking useless. And if they do, great. But I wouldn't overthink kickers. He must be in tough trouble. He must be. If you're getting that deep into your kickers, like I say, I'm in 7 leagues. I have a podcast, and I don't look at the kickers.
He's in 10th right now.
And I'm winning in all of my leagues.
He's in 10th right now.
In case any of you were wondering.
He's in 10th right now. He's trying to make the playoffs.
Except for that shitty other league.
He's got AJ,
1 of 6.
AJ Green, Golden Tate, Juju, Devonta Freeman, LaShawn McCoy, Gronk.
That's a good team.
Crabtree, Alex Smith, Ted Ginn, Marshawn Lynch.
So what's the beef? I don't get it. That's a good team.
He's in 10th. He needs to make the playoffs. He's trying to make the playoffs.
So a kicker is what he thinks
is going to make the difference, yeah.
No. Trades are going to make the difference. Or you keep rolling. Does he keep getting burned? I don't understand. That's
he's bought. I think he's traded some draft picks to pick up like a Shady. Do you know what I mean? Like he's trying to win this year, which we always recommend.
Of course, win this year. Next year might be terrible. Who knows?
So here's one that just came through. Now, this is an interesting one, and just as an aside, I'm just
depressing.
I'm just gonna tell you the trade.
I've opened the phones. We haven't heard shit.
That's okay. I'm gonna tell you the trade. It's Kelvin Benjamin for Jonathan Stewart.
Somebody just made that trade?
This is the trade. It's pending.
To you?
No.
Somebody else.
2 guys in my league have made this trade.
Oh, and they're talking. One asked us about it.
And 1 guy's in 3rd and 1 guy's in 5th. So both playing for the playoffs.
Hey, guess what? Go ahead and drop both guys. I don't think either.
Jonathan Stewart's dog shit.
And Kelvin Benjamin, there's never been shown, other than some bright spots with Sammy Watkins at the end of last year, there's been no number 1 target for Tyrod Taylor. He spreads it around. He scrambles. He's like a Russell Wilson. He scrambles and just throws it to somebody close to him. I don't think Kelvin's going to find that in Buffalo. I might be wrong. Is he going to find it in the next few weeks? I don't know. Are you comfortable starting him? Even if he goes off for 50 and a touchdown this week, are you comfortable starting him? Because I know I'm not.
Here's my thing with Benjamin.
Here we go.
We'll finish up the Benjamin thought, and then we'll go back into the box.
Yeah.
I like to dive in for seconds. You know we do.
It's hilarious because the young man that you just referenced is referenced in that message.
There it is. I will. We were on Kelvin Benjamin. Sorry. The one thing that I will say is Buffalo gave up quite a bit to get him.
Yeah. I like Kelvin Benjamin. I love him.
Of course. He's at 6'5", 2, whatever.
I started him last week. Let's put him that way. He's on enough of my teams that I started him in 2.
And he didn't play.
No.
Well, you got to get up before 10.
Afternoon games, bitch. I pay attention to the afternoon.
I don't know how you ever win these leagues.
How do I ever watch Patriots games? They start at fucking 9 a.m.
Sunday nighters.
I literally go like this, and I watch the stats. Oh, look at that. That's how I watch them.
They traded for Kelvin Benjamin for a reason. They gave up a lot to get him.
Yeah.
Their offensive coordinator must know or want something out of him, so I think they're going to use him.
Sure.
That's the hope.
Well, if you listen to last week's episode, at the NFL trade deadline, because they took advice from us to start making trades, a guy like Jay Ajayi, for example, I said, trade him, because you just don't know what's going to happen. Now he went out, he had a good week. I think he got 14 points, had a touchdown, and I think
a couple monster runs, and he only had 8 carries, but they're working him into.
No, but I think he got like 75 yards and a tug. Like that's great, good for you. That's great promise. Maybe sky's the limit, or maybe you want to trade him now. These are the things as a fantasy owner you have to adjust to. So, should you have traded him? I don't know. You get basement dollar for him because he was averaging 5 points a game. So you couldn't get much from. But were you gonna get anything at all? Or are the Eagles impressed with him enough? That offense is good enough to support one stud running back, even a couple. Look, that's fine too. But
is it going to be Blunt?
I don't know.
A combo of Blunt, Ajayi, Clement, Smallwood.
4 weeks ago, Clement, who had like 30 points. It's
all in the last. That was garbage time.
Of course, garbage time. But it's still,
it's like where you win games, though. Like that's how you win.
That's why I like garbage time. That's why I like bad quarterbacks.
That's why Blake Bortles is one of the greatest fantasy quarterbacks.
Bortles. But it's like, it's the same as. What are you going to do? Now, can you trade him? Maybe. Andre Hopkins, we were advocating trading him, hoping somebody would be dumb and go, and then he got 16 points. So, where are you at? But that's what you evaluate as a fantasy owner. That's why I always recommend making moves, adjust, be liquid, be on the ball. I drafted a team and, my team no good. Just going to go south. It's depressing. I've got one of the leagues that I'm in. I got a guy in the league, and I call him the captain of the waiver wire because he makes such aggressive waiver wire moves every week. He's like, I'm too lazy to even make a waiver claim. He's got 7 in there, and he's piecing together quite a bit of a team just by points because every week he starts a different player, but it's who's got a good
matchup.
Who's got a good matchup,
which is a way to play, but it's a live and die by the.
He's got top 4 points in the league, just the worst record. But he's been burned. He's had major players get injured and die, and there's nothing he can do about that. But It's about anything. You can't just rest on your laurels. I'm just lucky that when I rest, I make trades and then my teams get better. But I don't. I just can't just go, well, I drafted him and I love him, and that's just what we're gonna do.
It's funny you talk about DeAndre Hopkins because it's. And again, we said last week, get rid of Hopkins, get rid of Fuller, get rid of everybody, right?
Well, Fuller for sure, yeah.
And now, oh no, Hopkins is fine. He's going to be okay.
I don't know, is he?
Hopkins, I think, had 16 or 19 targets.
Oh, did he really?
And made 6 catches. So that's how bad Tom Savage is at throwing the ball. He can't even hit the best receiver. Like, he has to throw it to him. He caught less than 50% of his passes because they were such bad throws. So what happens if he throws it to him 10 times? He's going to catch 3 passes for 18 yards. Like, that's the kind of stuff you have to look at. Don't just look at his points. He should have traded him last week. Now he won't because he's okay. He's going to be good. And next week he's going to put up 2
points. No, I'm just saying. Yeah. That's it. Like, you got lucky. Now trade him.
Yes.
That's the point. Yeah. It's like the Ajayi owner. Okay, great. You got lucky. Trade him. I was talking to Perry, and he's got Adrian Peterson.
Trade him. But we've been telling him for weeks to trade him.
Yeah, but he couldn't have traded him last week. He got 3 points.
Yeah.
This week he got 37 touches, 150 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like, okay, now you can trade him or volume. The thing that you said from what you just said is not that he missed 10 passes, is that he got 16 passes.
Yeah.
You give me any NFL receiver. Sorry, don't even give me their name. I won't even look at my team. Just say, this guy's going to get 15 passes a game. This guy's going to get 18 targets a game. This guy's going to get 22 touches a game. Those are the guys I want on my team. Other than, like what you said, you just mentioned Will Fuller. 3 targets a game. Okay, well, I'm hoping for 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
No. Give me the guys with volume. Volume produces scores. That it is what it is.
But there's a difference between Hopkins going 6 for 19 and Antonio Brown going 12 for 12.
Sure, efficiency does mean a lot, but
yeah, I'm saying is the quarterback isn't always gonna.
Yes, but
if he's that bad, you're not gonna hope for that many points.
When in doubt, I hope if I have the Ravens receiver that Joe Flacco is throwing to 22 times.
Yes.
Okay, I'll take it. It's why I drafted Robbie Anderson in a bunch of leagues, because if you're going to be the number one, if you're going to see 9, 10, 11 targets a game, DeAndre Hopkins getting 19, like, nobody gets that.
No.
Julio, like, if you listen to previous podcasts, that's what we've always kind of, at least myself, I've always preached give it to your best player. AJ Green should get thrown to 20 times a game. Period. Just jump ball, just lobs. Not even...
Well, he's not putting people in rear naked chokes.
Yeah, well, he's aggressive. He plays... in the paint.
That was GSP Bisbing all over again.
Yeah, well, he watched the fights, he got excited. Who didn't? I love AJ Green. I traded him to the same team, so think about that trade. I got Wentz and then Green got suspended. Or ejected, rather. Yeah.
We'll quickly jump back into the Ashley Sayers inbox. We've got
I don't know. Again.
No?
No,
we do. We'll
it's always
jump back
something.
in. We've got one of our longtime listeners, and he likes to write in all the time, so I'd like to give him a shout out.
Yes. So.
Even though he is, the evil side of our
league,
he's
the evil to the hero.
Yeah.
But he's at the very least consistent. For all the shit talk that everybody else does, he messages in.
Yeah.
We get the messages.
A GM of the Year candidate.
Oh, absolutely. Not only, but also the guy who created the idea for
Self-proclaimed.
Yeah.
Mind you.
Oh, before we get into this, I've got a question. Just one quick one.
Okay.
I know you... See, this is the key to a good podcast, is you keep eating gabagool.
Oh, so much gabagool.
Always. Now, if you're a regular to the podcast, you know what the segment is. Sometimes it goes deep, like too deep. And if you're easily offended or you can get nauseous easily, or like if you're one of those like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he used a word that I'm uncomfortable with. I can't believe he assumed my credit card type. Then please turn this off. Earmuffs
for the next 10 seconds.
All that.
Credit card type? What's that even mean?
MasterCard versus Discovery versus Visa.
If you don't have a Visa, you're a homeless person.
What kind of comment is that?
It's a comment to people who have a Discovery card.
What about a MasterCard? I don't have one. I keep contemplating getting one.
Buddy, Avi on it.
I know. I'm
flying for free all over the place.
I'm a Visa something.
No fucks given.
Some Visa.
Student price card Visa.
Yeah.
You still got your Leo account?
No, I got some Visa something. I don't know. Avion. I'll pay $500 a year to have a darker card.
$10 a month to fly for free wherever I want.
Yeah, well, I've flown with
And
you,
get into
and
lounges.
you paid, and you've definitely shown those don't exist. So,
All right, hit me with
really
it.
got off the rails there.
Yeah, hit me with it. Okay, earmuffs, kids. If you don't want to hear it, it's because this is an aggressive segment
Oh,
of the
right.
show.
Sorry, not safe for work.
Yeah. Perry, don't let Nick
No.
hear.
Corey,
Yeah.
I've got only one question.
Okay, hit me with it. I'm scared, but I'm ready for it.
Just be prepared. I'm not asking for the world.
Is it okay if I give you just a one-word answer?
You know what? As long as it suffices, as long as it answers the question, that's all I'm looking for.
Okay.
That's all the fans are looking for.
Yeah, that's what they want.
Are you okay? Gonna be all right? You ready?
I'm ready.
Has Perry traded Drew Brees?
No.
Wow. That was this week, and has Perry traded Drew Brees? So while we're on the topic, Perry's messaged in.
All right, you can unplug the earmuffs.
Yeah,
We're
you're
to
good
go.
now.
Yeah.
That's fine. Everything else is going to be PG on the above board going forward.
Uncle Bob, tune back in, buddy. You're good to go. I know you're a huge fan. Uncle Bob's good to go.
Oh, fuck.
Mrs. Dawn, or Mama Dawn, you're good to go. Oils and Goyles, you're ready to go. We're laughing.
Oh, God. Why does anybody listen to this?
I don't know.
Why do they listen to this far?
I hope they just listen to the first 30 seconds
And go,
then
why?
why?
Why did I
do
click this?
Yeah.
Like, there's so many other stupid GIF recipes they could be watching on Facebook. Why did they see me go, hey, why don't you...
I'd rather listen to Bill Burr talk about MotoGP for half an hour than us sit on the couch like
I'd rather
fucking
listen
idiots.
to Bill Burr read Green Eggs and Ham than us talk about gabagool and our confusion.
You know what you wouldn't rather listen to?
What?
Audible.
I know, I don't listen to it, but I pay $16 a month.
And we won't pay $6 for SoundCloud to
Yeah,
get it
we
out
won't.
to you.
Yeah.
Just go fuck yourselves.
Okay, here we go.
All right, hit me with
All right,
it.
Perry, as per usual, I'm just going to go right off the cuff here. Shit. Just saw that Nick's birthday today. I guess he's... I sent out that we were opening the phones. Okay, so he's a little behind. He feels bad.
Okay, that's okay.
It's Nick's birthday today. Anyways, I hope you're calling out Sayers. All talk... Oh, yeah, he wants to talk about this, so we can talk about it. All talk, no moves, overvalues his so-called players. Maybe he should actually take advice from his own podcast. So Perry's noticed that you haven't made many moves, and he's a little upset. And I got to be honest with you, I don't fault him.
Okay.
Your squad could use a little help. I'm sitting here being the bastion of trade, which sometimes helps. Sometimes you get Leonard Fournette for a 5-person, and he doesn't even play. You get 0 points out of him, and your life is over. But at the same turn, you subscribe to what we subscribe to, and it's...
I do listen. I do read back, and I do listen to the podcast, and I send out trade offers every week. And I don't get a lot back, or what I do get back, I don't get.
So then, how about this? Why don't we spend the next 3 minutes? And for the real fantasy fans, that you'll really enjoy this. Why don't for the next 3 minutes, we see who you can package and make a trade?
Sure, I just sent you one.
I don't
for the number 10 wide receiver. You only have one on your roster.
Trying to trade me Larry Fitzgerald.
I understand that you just look at names. I look at points and standings. So I look at numbers. I don't look at names. I'm not a names guy. Now, first and foremost...
But if it's for a running back, then I'm not trading him.
Oh, I sent you a running back, too. The starting running back, actually, on your favorite team who gets 15 carries a game and about 5 catches.
You just want...
For a guy on your bench. Sorry, for a bench
Perry
player.
just offered me Golden Tate for Doug Martin. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I sent you a trade offer.
I just got a trade from Perry.
You declined it already. But you didn't send one back. As an advocate of sending something back...
Perry, I don't have any wide receivers. I can't make that trade.
I'm trying to give you a wide receiver and a running back for a running back.
I don't want...
And I don't have any wide receivers.
I have 0 wide receivers.
Here's where we're at, Don. This is what I'm going to show you, and...
No, don't show me anything else. What do you need? Don't talk to me. Because I don't want Dion Lewis.
I'm just gonna run this through. I don't know why you wouldn't want a guy who gets 15 carries. He's guaranteed almost 10 points.
Yeah,
a
he's
game.
doing well. He's doing really well. Like if
Been
he's
integrated more and more into the lineup, and I'm starting him this week.
if he was on the waiver wire, I'd pick him up.
Of course, yeah, it's a great guy to have on your bench.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna run through these numbers with you. Okay.
Yeah.
91, 95. Just listen.
Sorry.
91, 95, 70, 101, 111, 115, 111, 92, 99.
Yeah. What about that?
Those are all the points I put up consecutively. So what do I say? If you can put up 90 to 100 points,
Oh,
you're okay.
Oh, so your argument? Oh, okay. Sorry, I apologize.
I've been sub
You're
90.
giving me yards that Larry Fitzgerald
No.
has gotten.
Oh
And I've
god,
been
no,
like,
way
that's-
more than that. I've been sub 90. I've been sub 90 once
Yeah.
in 9 weeks.
So your argument is that you've been fine. You're not worried about it.
I'm not worried about it, and I'm still trying to make moves. I'm still trying to.
Got it.
Because I do. I mean.
Because I was really impressed with Fitzgerald's yards there.
Yeah. Why
Like
wouldn't
with
you?
your scores, I was like, oh shit! Like he's getting 90 on average. That means 5 catches. That's 12 points in our league. I'm in.
Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't you want the number 11 wide receiver
I don't know. I'd probably rather the number 10 running back.
on your bench?
Well, no, he's starting. He's in my flex. The number 2 running back.
Oh, this week because he's on bye.
Yeah, next week he'll be on my bench.
But I'm just loving these numbers, like 11 carries, 13 carries, 15 carries, 2 targets, 3 targets, 5 targets. I mean, as a running back, that's what I want to see is just growth.
Just touches. I just talked.
Touches and
Volume.
effort and volume and from a guy who's going to now consistently put up at least 10 points a week.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I want. So, can I delete that trade that I offered you? Because I don't want to make it anymore.
Why would you?
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I understand.
So I looked at a trade because I wasn't sure if you wanted the number 10 wide receiver, Larry Fitzgerald. I know you don't like names, but then, or the number 9 in Mike Evans. And I'm like, if I put Mike Evans in that, you would probably take it instead. Right? But you're just a names guy. You're not a points guy. You don't really see the fantasy world as points. You see names, right? That's why you're all hung up on these guys.
Which is hilarious because you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
If you switch that from Fitz to Evans, I'll make that trade today.
And that's a position. That's one position.
Even with the
I could take out
suspension.
Lewis, and you would probably make that deal.
I consider it more.
Yes, and that is one position.
Yeah,
that is
because
from the number 10 to the number 9.
Because I feel like, why is he sneakily... Like, I have to go check to see that he's not injured. The amount of times I've been offered in the last 3 weeks in trades to give me Chris Hogan because he's hurt and on a bye.
God.
Because people hope for my homerism to take over. You're asking for Alvin Kamara. I just traded for him. 5 minutes after the trade was processed, I got a trade for Gronk for Kamara. Strictly because my homerism is supposed to come through. I don't know if the same people that think my homerism is because I'm a Patriots fan didn't realize that I traded Tom Brady 3 days prior. It's really my fantasy day is fine if I win. But it's devastated if my Pats lose. I'm a Pats fan first and foremost.
I won't win another championship if the Eagles win the next
Super Bowl. Of course.
On their way, buddy.
You win no matter what. Oh, we're looking for that matchup. That's what we're looking for.
Absolutely.
That we'll podcast before that.
That's just what I'm saying. So it's a names thing. It's not a numbers thing, and that's what it comes down to. For a guy who has one wide receiver on his roster right now, that's I go through and I look at rosters and I say, where can we make a matchup? That's why, like, me and Paul Lalonde can't make a deal, and maybe we could now, but earlier in the season, we had the same kind of a team.
Yeah.
And he was trying to get, like a running back for me when I needed running backs. And it's like, we're not a good mesh. You need a wide receiver. Yeah. I need a running back. I'm trying to give you a top 10 and throw in a little sugar for it. And it's, like you said, if Fitz was number 9 and Mike Evans was number 10?
If Fitz was number 9 and Mike Evans was number 16, I'd still probably do that deal.
Mike Evans, yeah. With Ryan Fitzpatrick throwing on the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the difference.
I know what you just said, but you still wouldn't amend the trade to go the other way. And I still wouldn't take it anyways.
Amend the trade.
Meaning, I know you just lowballed your boy Mike Evans, who you're madly in love with, but you still wouldn't change it for that.
Oh no, I'd want a little bit more juice
Of
left.
course you would. Yes, of course, because you know what I know, which is who's got more, especially down the stretch.
I know that Larry Fitzgerald will keep you consistent, and I know that Mike Evans can win you a week.
Yes, perfect way to describe.
Sure.
So that 5 minutes that I wanted to spend trying to look at other people's teams. See if
I
we
was just
can
telling
get
you
a
the
check.
difference. You see the difference
I
between a
wasn't
number
try-
9 and a number 10.
I know, but I wasn't trying to.
And when I spoke to you so courteously, you kind of sat back on the couch and looked at yourself in the mirror and said, "Wow, I'm an idiot." But I mean, you don't take your own advice. I thought you listened to the podcast, but maybe you don't, because you only have one wide receiver.
Well, what's hilarious is that in the same sense as when I just made the trade that I made with Perry, and then I just traded to Mike, is Duke Johnson, for example. Last week when I traded Duke Johnson, do you know what number, like in the positional rankings, that Duke Johnson was?
In the 20s.
Last week, 11th.
Well,
Now he might be in the 20th.
Oh, because he missed a week?
He was in his bye week last week. But I was a little bit rose-colored glasses when I was like, holy shit, I'm getting a top 3 and a top 15? I didn't realize Duke Johnson was doing anything.
Here's my issue with Duke Johnson, okay? So
he's the Larry Fitzgerald of running backs.
No, he's not. He's 17.
What did I say earlier? Oh, fuck.
He's number 17. He's not a top 10.
But before the bye, he was.
2.5, 8. Okay?
Yeah.
17, 13, 14.
Yeah, there you go.
4, 7, 5.
Yeah.
So he's trending downwards. He's not like Deion Lewis, who's trending upwards. He's trending down. He goes Detroit, not a good matchup. Jacksonville, awful matchup. Cincy, not a great matchup. At Cincy. At the Chargers. His first good matchup is home to Green Bay in Week 14, first week of the playoffs. So if you make the playoffs, you've got him. Then he's got Baltimore, not a good matchup.
No.
And it's over. So yeah, go for it. Knock yourself
I
out
already
with Duke
traded
Johnson.
him.
Yeah, you made the right move.
I already traded him. I trade everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody gets traded.
Yeah. That's not a name trade though. That's a numbers trade.
Yeah.
You're trying to trade with me for name, not number.
Sure. I'm looking at my team now and I'm realizing I have one person that I drafted. And I didn't even draft him. I kept him. Shady.
Yeah.
I drafted Kareem Hunt but traded him on draft day. Is that?
And then you got him back.
Other than that,
Yeah.
it's not a single
Yeah.
person. But that's what... See, and there's the difference. The conservative, my team's getting 98 points, and I'm happy with that. And I'd be happy for 98 points because I can't stretch 75 to save my fucking life.
Yeah.
And
Well, I take the what you go from the week from the previous season is you just got to get in the playoffs and give yourself a shot.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to put up at least 95 points a week, that's a good shot to win it all, right? I drafted Dak. I drafted Joe Mixon. I kept Mike Evans and I kept Melvin Gordon. Vernon Davis gone. I picked up the Seahawks D after someone drafted them in like the 3rd round, and then now I can just keep them forever. Tucker, whatever. Marlon Mack picked him up. Deion Lewis picked him up. D.D. Westbrook picked him up. Yeah, everyone's team should be a little bit fluid. You're going to have those guys that are going to stay on your team. I mean, like, do I trade Melvin Gordon for what? Because that doesn't leave me with another stud.
Here is...
All right.
Thank-
Let's open up the phones. We're
Let's
back
open
on the
the-
phones.
All
Here
right.
we go.
Okay, let me not fuck this up.
Yeah, try not to this time. Brad Friend, welcome to the Coquitlam Whiskey Barrel Podcast.
What's happening, fellas?
We're just talking some shit about each other's trades and no trades and this trades. You know, I'm giving Corey a bit of a hard time right now because I'm just saying that we keep talking about trades and making moves and whatnot, and then he lambasted me for about 7 minutes about how I didn't accept a trade from him that I should have. And he's just saying...
Not that you should have, I'm just saying you look at names, not numbers.
Sure, that's an argument to be made. Anyway, so we're just talking trades. What's up with you, Brad?
Hi, just driving home from a long day at work. Thought I'd give the fellas a call here.
It's busy season for Brad Friend right now. I'm sure it's...
Oh, it's ridiculously busy. We're setting records. We're setting records in Burgundy, boys.
Is that true?
Well, the early hit, didn't you see the weather last week?
Yeah, the snow.
People are already panicking. I can imagine it's a zoo for you, Brad. That's probably good for business, though. You're going to be busy for the next, 3 months.
We've been busy since October and don't see an end in sight, but at some point in December, I would think it'll slow down some.
Here's a bigger question for you, Brad Friend.
Wait,
American Thanksgiving, what's your status?
Say that again?
American Thanksgiving, what's your status?
Oh, I gotta work, boys. There's tires to be sold.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you sneak out early at least?
Probably not.
Wow.
When's the day end for you?
Now let's talk about shitty trade offers.
Okay.
All right.
Fuck
Here
it.
we
Let's
go,
get
Brad.
into
Brad,
it.
let's get into it.
Fired up. Fired up.
Let's go.
Darren McFadden for Jarek McKinnon.
What?
Yeah, that's right. That happened
When?
yesterday.
You're fucking kidding me. That's a joke,
I
right?
kid you not. No, absolutely not. So I canceled that trade, declined it, and I fired back with, we got some shitty running back from Miami,
Yeah.
so I responded back with him for AJ Green.
Which one? Williams?
The guy that scored the receiving touchdown. I think it's
Williams.
Williams, yeah.
Sounds about right.
You have
He's so
Williams.
shitty.
Don't you have
He's
Williams?
So shitty he's on my team and I don't know his name.
Williams. Yeah, you've got Williams. I'm sorry. Hold on. I know you don't like to call people out, Brad, because you're a better man than me.
But that's
But
not
I'm
what we're all about here on the Whiskey Barrel
But I'm
Podcast.
going to look up
His
at
name
who's
is
got
Kurt.
Darren fucking McFadden.
His name is Kurt.
Okay, so Kurt's been a little bit mad about a lot of the trades that we've been making in the last 2 weeks. He's gotten quite hot. And, it's another podcast to talk about Kurt's opinions right now. But Kurt, now, you're not dressing that up. Are you not embellishing in any ways? Kurt offered you...
It was 1-for-1. That was a 1-for-1 trade.
To Aaron McFadden... Oh, I guess because you have Zeke? I still don't understand that.
Here's the only way it makes sense is I think the court ruling goes through tomorrow night or Friday night. That might
tomorrow.
make sense. That only way that makes sense is on Saturday if Zeke's done for the rest of the year.
It would still not make sense because, for two reasons. A, I would rather put my man Darkwa out there than Darren McFadden because he's still going to be a backup to Alfred Morris.
Sorry, not if he's named the starter.
Well,
That's
Yeah.
I'm trying to play like devil's advocate because it's a terrible trade offer. But the only
Right.
way it makes sense is in the future if McFadden is the starting running back for the Cowboys.
and we're comfortable enough in our position in the league right now that we don't need to make a trade tomorrow if Zeke is suspended. There's guys that are not going to be in the playoffs.
Right.
We'll realize that in a couple of weeks that might still have good players that would be happy to have Zeke as a keeper for next year.
Sure.
Yep.
So we're all kind of having that in the back of their head, because I've been chatting with Hinton regarding one of my running backs for some of his players, just for a keeper position as well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if that's a real trade and you're not bullshitting all,
No
that
bullshit.
I'm just so happy I don't get trade offers like that, because I just I don't know why people are thinking that you just gonna be tired and click accept because of what reason? I don't get it.
I don't know. There's so many. I honestly wish we could kick some people out of the league for the stupid trade offers they do. Honestly, if you make an offer that stupid and ridiculous, you should be out of the league.
Well, we've already got one guy on punishment this week that we're gonna put out, and you'll hear when you listen back to the podcast. So we could go for number 2. I have no idea. Brad, friend, we're on the Whiskey Barrel Podcast. We really ask the hard hitting questions, and hopefully you're prepared for this one. But I'm sure you've listened, and I know you're an avid listener, an avid caller, and we love that you call in every week, and it's great. But we always say that a meat runs the team. Now, when you get a trade offer, who sees it first?
Great question.
Who sees it first?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say it varies. I probably spend more.
No.
time
Sorry. Are both your emails attached? Does it go to both of you at the same time?
No, it definitely. I do not get the emails if we get trade offers. I just spend enough time on the site that I see them.
So Amit gets the emails. So it's still Amit's team, and you're the assistant GM or assistant to the GM.
We're co-GMs.
Well, who's getting the emails?
Me.
Yeah, I rest my case. Thanks, Brad. Do you have anything else to answer or any other questions for the fantasy gurus?
I'd actually rather go down that rabbit hole a little bit, Brad. Okay, so what happens? So Amit gets the emails, and then he reaches out to you immediately, or he tells you about it. How does this go? Do you make phone calls? Is it text? Is it, hey, have you seen what that trade is? Do you like it? Do you hate it? What's the process between the two of you?
Oh, the process is rather easy. We get shitty trade offers, and whoever first declines it.
It's a pretty easy system.
We just say fuck off whenever we have a chance.
I believe the only trade we've consummated this year that the offer was made to us was ourself, I should say, and you, Dono.
Yeah.
And it'd be quite different, but you initiated the trade, and we negotiated something out. But other than that, it's been something that we've initiated.
Okay, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Now it's working out a lot better for you than it is me, that trade in question. But
did you not trade Doug Martin to Perry, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's just me being me. I'm not too stressed about that. But but Brad, you just patted me on the back because me and Dan made a trade today, and I messaged him. I said, hey, pleasure doing business. He goes, and he literally messaged me back saying, you're the only guy I'll do business with. Everybody else sends shitty trade offers, and I'm not interested in looking at them. And I was like, you know what? Thank you, because that's the only thing that I ever say is that I try not to offer you a bunch of my fucking bench fodder for your number one player. And in our degree, you gave me a running back for the number one quarterback in the league, and that running back got benched because he's no good.
Yeah, and I'd like to thank you for that. Because our one weakness on our team for the first, 7 weeks was Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
To regress there.
Yeah.
And you've plugged that hole for us.
No problem, buddy.
And we now have pretty dominant players at all positions. We'll see if that stands true after tomorrow, after the Elliott hearing. But clearly, if Elliott's in there, we're the odds-on favorite to win the championship this year. I don't think there's any argument against that.
Wow, bold statement.
Hey, I've been there before, and I wasn't talking that much shit in week 15. That's for sure.
I'm a big fan of your team, Brad. I keep giving it praises. I feel like I'm the only one in the league who notices that you have 280 more points than the next best guy.
Well, anybody that's not noticing that we're the top team in the league can't do math.
Is that the same team that has had the easiest schedule? I'm just confused.
Easiest schedule? I believe we all play each other. We've all played each other once this year, other than this week.
I'm just talking about point. I'm just talking straight points against.
Whether or not our schedule is easy doesn't dictate how many points our team puts up.
That dictates your wins for sure.
No, easiest schedule.
If you're getting the most points per week on a weekly basis, it doesn't matter who you face; you're going to beat them. That's
not true. I did that last. I had that same lineup last year, and I won most points for by over 200, and I was like 7-5.
Well, we're doing it on a weekly basis now. Weekly.
That's what I'm saying about last year. Go check the stats. The paper doesn't lie.
You cannot lose.
Yeah. Well, we'll see after the Zeke hearing.
We will. Yeah, and that will definitely have a determination on the season, possibly. But if he gets suspended for 6 games, if we don't trade him, we still have him for the final. And obviously there's going to be some mediocre teams if we hold up as first place, which I don't know we will, because we do still have the same record as I believe yourself and somebody else is 6-3. I can't remember who it is.
Don, but you guys are in the same conference, so I don't know if we do a little bit of crossover. I mean, our commissioner's so poor. We're
just
sure
a couple top 3 guys just talking some top 3 matchups.
Yeah.
And let's go bad points against Brad. I don't know. Like, let's put it this way, Brad. As much as I always find myself being on the defensive. Corey's the hero of this league, and he's the nice guy, positive, goody two-shoes. But I'm always on the defensive of this. The least points against is me. My team is fucking... I couldn't break 80 to save my fucking life. So you're beating me by 105 in points against. I am breezing my way through these matchups.
Who's had the most points against?
936. So 936. 2 people with 936. So Bounty Hunters has had the most points against.
By 0.5?
Oh yeah, you.
That's the toughest schedule, and still in first place.
Beat me by 200 points.
It's called grinding, buddy. I grind out wins.
Oh, do you? Because I do it all the time with my whole team.
We'll see.
My team
When we
should
play
be
week
called-
one again, when we
should be
play
called the
again
Grind.
in week one in the
Anyways,
playoffs.
Brad, I'm really impressed with your team. I think what you guys are doing is great. I think you've made the moves. You've listened to the podcast. You're a regular to the podcast. You're making the moves that we need you to make and that you need to make if you're trying to win, and you're on your way to doing that. And I'm proud of you. And this is your best foot forward. If you don't collect the trophy or belt, if you win this year, you're out of the league because it's embarrassing. But other than that, I think that we appreciate the call. I appreciate you. I think what you guys are doing this year is really it's exactly what we want. You're not resting on your laurels. You're not getting overzealous, but you're making moves, but you're picking up the right guys when you need to. I'm thrilled with what you guys are doing. I'd be happy to have your team and what you guys are doing.
I got 3 things to say.
Please.
Hit us with it, buddy.
Sully's going to be paying me $100.
What?
Was there a board bet to start the year?
Oh yeah, 0.4.
Nice.
You bet.
Excellent.
Number 2, and I ran into Costco on Tuesday and made sure he knew that. Number 2, no doubt in my mind we're going to collect $100 for the 0.4.
Did you pay on opening day?
Oh, you bet. Yep.
Good man. Or sorry, you did pay because did Amit pay? Wasn't that a bet?
I paid because I made Amit a bet that nobody would take Goskowski in the first 9 rounds. About 2 picks later, intelligently picked him.
And look where Team Galladay is, last place.
And we lost to him. God damn it.
And number 3?
Well, I forgot my number 3, but I'm sure it was a valid point.
Text it to me if you change your mind, if you remember what it is. Hey, Brad, we always appreciate the call. We'd love to have you in studio as well. If this is the time that you get off work on Wednesdays, I mean, we can push it back an hour to have another guy, because we keep hearing from everybody in the league that they want to be on the podcast, and it's only Perry filling Ashley's box, and you and
Inbox. You gotta say inbox.
Inbox. And it's like you calling fairly consistently. Nightingale's called. Kurt's called a few times, which we appreciate. But, the amount of shit that we get about the podcast, the lack of
contribution from the outside.
Exactly. And Brad, you're one of the contributors that we really like to hear about. And considering that we both determined that Amit is the commissioner of your, not commissioner, the GM of your team.
And your assistant to the GM.
Yeah, but the amount of effort you're putting in just on this side of the ball
doesn't
really
go
appreciate
unnoticed.
It. Yeah.
Oh, I remember number 3.
There it is.
Go ahead, Brad.
Julius Thomas, and there's a lot of shitty teams with a lot of shitty
tight ends.
out there. Julius Thomas was a free agent this week.
Should be.
He was.
Got
He had a
15
huge
points
week last week,
Yeah.
and nobody picked him up, except for the team that had the number 1 tight end in the league on a bye week.
The number 1 tight end in the league is Travis Kelce, and he's on my team.
Is he number 1 now? Number 2 then. We'll
No.
call him number 2. Zach Ertz, week by week, 10-plus points on a bye week. Julius Thomas is out there and nobody picked him up. That shocks me. Even on just taking a flyer on him because your tight end sucked.
Why would you? But why would you say that? Julius Thomas got 14 points this week, but before that, he hadn't scored a point in 4 weeks.
Well, take a flyer on him is what I'm saying.
If you have room to do so.
But why? Sure. For what reason?
If you want to.
Was the matchup good, or Julius Thomas hasn't been hurt because he hasn't caught a ball and seen contact in the first 8 weeks of the season?
Unless you've got Zach Ertz, Travis Kelce, or Gronk, off the top of my head, who's your tight end?
Travis Kelce now. But I don't know. I don't even know the name of the guy that I have on my team. He's that bad.
That's what I'm saying. There's so many shitty tight ends out there that aren't putting up points.
Yeah.
And there's a guy that had a big week who's had a history of being a good player, not in the last little while, obviously, but why not take a flyer? Did
you pick him up and start him? Is that what you're saying? And then I'm just not noticing that?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Oh, good work. Okay, yeah. Well, good work.
And I'm not saying he's going to have a huge week, but he's got a chance, which a lot of tight ends that are on teams starting this week do not.
Sure. Okay, that's fine.
I'd rather take a flyer on a Danny Amendola or a Josh Doxson or a Marquise Goodwin or a Crowder that's out there, or Devontae Booker even.
Don't think I heard any tight ends listed there.
God, Brad, sometimes I love you when you really...
Tight ends are terrible. Thanks for calling into the podcast, Brad. We love you. We appreciate your phone calls all the time. Hopefully we get to see you at the tail end of American Thanksgiving.
Where are we meeting next Wednesday for this podcast?
It's always at
311.
It's always at 311. Wendy Law
Studios.
Studios.
We'll hold it back. We'll hold it back. We won't start recording till after 9 o'clock if you need it.
I shouldn't be that late, but I'll text
Oh, that's
you.
even better. For us, that's even better. The earlier, the better.
Just keep in touch. We'll go in next Wednesday, Brad.
I look forward to this, fellas.
All right,
buddy. Thanks for the
okay,
call.
hey, you heard it here on the podcast, everybody. This is what we hear from everybody every other fucking day is that, hey, he'll be there. And nothing.
Thanks, Brad.
As LL Cool J would say, my word is born.
See you, Brad. Bye.
All right, it's time for us to grab another drink. Drinks.
Right. So...
Well, should we did we finish off? Did Perry's argument resolve itself of his own volition, or are we...
About you? No, that's
I'm
just
just
your
saying,
stance.
like,
That's just the stance that you're taking.
I played the heavy game last year. I had I rolled the Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, Amari Cooper, Melvin Gordon lineup last year.
That's dangerous.
Putting up the most points for, and it got me knocked out in the first round of the playoffs. So this year I'm trying to build a team that's going to consistently put up 95 points.
Right.
I've done that. I'm still sending out trade offers. I'm still trying to make some kind of moves. I'm not getting offers back, so it is what it is. But that's the tact I'm going with this year, and we'll see if it pays off for me. But my team's going to put up 95 points. Like I said, I've been under 90 once this year, so I'm happy with that. And if I go out in the first round, I go out in the first round. It's not anything new for me, but at least I've given myself a shot.
You know, there's enough. I make so many trades that it's not that big of a deal for somebody like me. But I hear so much beef from other people about not getting trade offers back. Can we start as a collective? Like, just if you play fantasy football, or just... Sorry, I should just be talking to our league because those are the only people that should still be listening this far fucking down. Is if you receive a trade offer, the person sending you that offer probably has looked at your team and probably likes the players. That's good olive oil that you can't even pick that gabagool up.
There's so much oil I can't pick up the gobs.
Sorry, that's what happens when you just continue to eat gabagool during a podcast. But if you receive a trade offer, that person's probably looking at the players that you want. So don't get insulted by the offer. Just look back at that person's team and say, this is what I would take from your offer. Because for those players, because it's too often we get in our heads, we take shit personally. It's like, I can't believe they offered me this for that. What do you think, I'm stupid? No, maybe they just want to tell you, I'm interested in that player. Look back at my team. What would interest you for that player? Because right now what people do is they just reach back and go, "Oh, you want
Jerick McKinnon.
You want Jerick McKinnon? Well, fuck you. I want Julio Jones and Christian McCaffrey." It's like, what?
Yeah.
No, what we're not, and so the other person then gets insulted, like you just came back with a good fuck you. When the reality is if you receive a trade offer, the person's interested in that player. Maybe look back. Maybe you can't find anything. Maybe you can find something. Sometimes what I find it's that I get myself into that overvaluing players, but not even overvaluing. I just like the players that I have. So when I look,
you're a names guy.
So sure, because I got nothing but names. So when I look at the other teams, I go, well, I don't even really want to send you this back because where I value this player versus what you'd have to give up to get him, I don't even think I think that's a waste of time. Now, in the case of Darren McFadden for Jerick McKinnon 2 days ago, Kurt, if you made that trade offer, that's dirty. It's tough for Brad and me not to go, fuck you.
We've got his lineup. No, that's fine. He's interested. It's just if they send you something ridiculous, send them, this is what it's going to cost.
That's what I'm saying, but it's tough not to take that offensively.
Sure.
When it's Derek McFadden. Okay, how about, do you have Mike Evans? Because then I'll make that trade. Do you have...
Larry Fitzgerald? Do you have these top 10 wide receivers? That's what you're talking about, right?
Sure. Okay, you want to look at their teams? Why do they just play each other?
That's Team Big Daddy. I just pulled up Kurt's team because I said, "Okay, it was offered Darren McFadden for Jerick McKinnon." So now you send back Jerick McKinnon for who?
Jerick McKinnon And they got Ertz, right? And they just picked up Thomas. I hate that he was bragging about that.
That
That
was
was such a fucking
so
dart
ridiculous.
throw. Brad, I've been sucking your dick for a while now, but that is ridiculous.
I'd put it on the board that Julius Thomas will be off their team within 2 weeks.
He'll be off their team next week, A. B, he will... I'll put it on the board right now. That's the biggest week he'll have all season.
100%.
Maybe the rest of his career.
Yeah.
How about that? That Croft character did get picked up. What did he get? 7 points? Fuck. Well,
that's okay. It's serviceable for tight end. Well, he had Rudolph on a bye, so he had to pick up somebody, so that's fine.
Okay, so Kurt's team's on the right. Sorry, okay.
Kurt's team's on the right. You're sending back Jarek McKinnon.
Okay.
What do you want back for Jarek McKinnon?
For Jarek McKinnon from Kurt, I want Tyreek Hill. I want Tyreek Hill and Frank Gore.
Oh, wow. That's how much you value Jarek McKinnon. Okay.
Have you seen Jarek? Do you have him in any of your leagues? He's averaging 25 points a game. It's ridiculous.
I know that he was losing touches last.
Yeah, and he got 30 points.
Did he?
Losing touches.
I haven't been following. They got Teddy Bridgewater, 2 gloves Bridgewater coming back, who's going to be chucking the rock.
Give me the last 4 scores for Jarek McKinnon.
21, 25, 21.
21, 25, 21.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
4-1.
That's before
half,
that he had.
2.
There was other that's nothing.
Yeah.
Since he took over the job, it's an average of above 15 points with what you just gave me.
Yeah.
So
doesn't have a good playoff schedule.
I don't give a shit.
Shit.
Versus Tyreek Hill. Let's look at his schedule. Oh, we're going long on this podcast because I haven't even started talking shit about the rest of these idiots.
Giants, good matchup. Buffalo, not bad. Jets, good matchup. Oakland, good matchup. Chargers, good matchup. Tyreek's got a good schedule.
Yeah, and look at what he's done with a good schedule. Houston, 7 points.
Oh, he's boom or bust. 100% he's boom or bust.
Yeah.
But right now they've got Zeke, right? So it's...
Tyreek is not... What do you mean has Zeke?
Patterson, or team of Meat Gajar has Zeke, so they don't need...
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
They don't need Jarek McKinnon. They can forego Jarek McKinnon.
I got it. They can do that. I'm just saying that's what I'm...
I mean, they're starting Orleans Darkwa.
Like Tyreek Hill and Gore. You know what I mean?
I'd take Tyreek Hill and McFadden just on the thing.
Really?
Goes down.
Oh, wow. See, I wouldn't for a heartbeat.
If you have
I have no wide receivers on my team.
I've tried to trade you a top.
I don't even have one. I'm just going to go in.
Tried to trade you a
That's
top
what we're going to talk about. I'm just going to add a wide receiver instead of doing anything.
All right.
Because that's where we're at. Because Ted Ginn Jr. and Kyle Rudolph just aren't going to cut it. T.Y. Hilton and Ty Montgomery, maybe? No, even then, I don't trust Montgomery.
What happened to Willie Snead?
I don't know. He was suspended. We
good?
overvalued him. Well, he had an okay... Oh, no, that's Ted Ginn. Willie Snead, I don't know. Is he dead?
I think so.
I have him in no leagues. I had him in one.
I haven't even seen him.
I had him in one, and the week that he came off suspension, I dropped him.
Yeah.
I was like, I waited 4 weeks. Fuck that. I'll go get Jarek
all those
McKinnon.
people who held on to Andrew Luck for like 8 weeks.
I did in one league. I held David Johnson in a non-keeper league for 3 weeks before I was like,
why am I even keeping him?
I need to win. I can't just keep this guy in hope in week 14 he comes back.
Look at Brad Patterson's Team Big Daddy's bench. David Johnson.
IRs.
Isaiah
He's
Coel,
trying to set himself up for next year, and that might be exactly what he's doing, because if he doesn't start making some moves...
he's got no wide receivers. His best wide receiver is Devontae Parker.
Yeah, and no, Keenan Allen. He's on bye.
I don't know if I trust Keenan Allen anymore.
Yeah. Brad, why don't you send Jordy Nelson and Keenan Allen my way, and I'll send you maybe Kareem Hunt back, and we'll have a little keeper talk. Anyways, okay, so... Are we going to talk matchup standings? What do you want to go with?
We've kind of gone through it all. We've kind of gone through strength of schedule. We've kind of gone through matchups a little bit on and off, and we're running a little bit long. But I think there's a deeper lying issue, and we talked about getting controversial, and I'll bring up the first one. And there was an upset member of our league this week, and he was not happy with a Julio Jones, Christian McCaffrey for Todd Gurley deal.
Yeah.
Now,
This is the after hours part of the podcast.
This is the late night. You've finished your cocktails. The bars are closed, but something's going on in that alley, and they're serving booze back there.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? I didn't think it was awful.
Why would you think it's awful? I think it's ridiculous that it was actually thought to be awful.
Right.
McCaffrey and Julio for Todd Gurley.
Gurley.
I think that's a perfect trade, actually, for
For
Todd
both
Gurley.
parties.
I think no, just for the players. The players involved. That is, if you're looking at them unbiasedly, who cares roster construction? Running back, wide receiver, it's going back and forth. I think that is the type of trade. That's the consolidating or expanding. Hinton decided to make one last gasp and expand, and it didn't work out for him. But would it have worked out for him if Todd Gurley stayed on his team? Because I don't know that it would have.
It didn't work out for him by 0.3 points.
Fuck, Jesus.
Like that could have changed.
Okay,
the whole
but
season.
could that have done something on his bench as well? Like how many he said, she said, how many woulda, coulda, shouldas can we actually look into, right?
Yep.
So that's where you get into those issues there. So I think that's a perfect trade for, if you put Julio and Jerick McKinnon for Todd Gurley, I'm not mad at that.
Yes.
McCaffrey's averaging 12 points. McKinnon's averaging 20. And it's a Darren McFadden for McKinnon, and he thinks that sorry, Kurt's okay, we're addressing Kurt getting mad about that other trade.
He was hot.
Super hot.
Hot.
Julio McCaffrey for Gurley.
He threatened to quit the league.
Yet he thinks McFadden for McKinnon is fair. And if we would have let that go, the amount of fucking heat he would have had at that if it was anybody other than his team?
That's grounds for dismissal.
No, it's not grounds for dismissal. Getting mad about trades.
I'm just saying, don't talk so negatively, threaten to quit the league, and then send something out that's even worse.
Is that what he was trying to do? Maybe that's it. Maybe there was a little spite. A little just fuck you. I'll just
send one to one of the two parties. Don't send it to an innocent bystander.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't pull out your gun and start shooting into you missing your target.
Yeah. You're right. Either way, I think that was a great trade. I think that all the trades that are being made are good trades. I just made a trade with Dan, and he's making a play for this week. He needs starters. I need a tight end. There's nothing wrong with this. What I do like is that the commissioner has been on top of it, overseeing it, and letting trades go through.
Now, you had a fellow commissioner of another league asked to call in this week and asked to be a part of the podcast. He's obviously an avid listener and follows along. And
He's not an avid listener, and he's a pussy because he didn't fucking call in today either. So I'm going to give the Coles notes because we're stretching this so long, and I almost want to... Maybe I tease it for next week, and maybe we get him in, and maybe I try to encourage.
We've tried to get him in this week, and he hasn't come on to defend himself. Do we put out the effort again?
No, I'm just saying. I opened the phones to him. I told him when the phones would be open because he told me he was gonna come on my podcast and trash me for the bullshit that I was. So
he threatened our livelihood.
Yeah.
Be it as it may.
Yeah.
I will give him, cut him some slack. He does have a new child. Maybe there's...
that's true.
So let's cut him some slack for he's not available for the hour that we've been talking.
Yeah, so that's tardy. That's fine.
So we will give him another week.
But he also made an open threat that he was going to come on the podcast and talk about the bullshit fantasy owner that I am and how everything that I do is bullshit and blah, blah, blah. To which I responded, yep. Phones will open about 8:15 on Wednesday.
We welcome it.
There was no, blah, blah. This is when the phones open. Feel free. I'm here. The mic's on. The phone's on. You want some? Come get some. You know where I live. It's not your first fucking day.
311.
You know exactly how to get to 311. You heard it here first. So I'll just go over it and just, who cares names? Who cares players? Unfortunately, everybody who owned Deshaun Watson last week was dealt a very serious blow because Deshaun Watson blew his ACL. The day before Deshaun Watson blew his ACL, I made a trade with Deshaun Watson and AJ Green for Carson Wentz and Rob Gronkowski. I'm a big Gronk fan. The other team is a big Texans fan. Sent the trade. It was accepted by the other guy immediately. The next afternoon, when Deshaun Watson blew his ACL, the other guy panicked and started losing his mind, offering to pay league fees for every single person that was in the league as long as they vetoed the trade. That went on for 3 days.
The trade was accepted.
Accepted by him.
Proposed to
by me.
You.
Proposed by me.
And accepted
to him.
By him.
Accepted by him.
Right.
And then he wanted to get out because of obviously the injury.
And what's the time difference between acceptance and injury?
A whole day. It
so
was
the
a whole
trade
day.
should have been pushed through.
Yeah, it was a Monday. It was a Monday afternoon or night, and it was Tuesday afternoon. Watson got hurt, and then so it wasn't until Thursday because my other shitty commissioner in the other league, in the bullshit fucking worst league I've ever seen run ever. You heard it here first. The phone's been on for the last 2 hours, bitch. Anyways, in that league, he just lets it run, right? That's the company line, is we just leave it open for veto. There's been 5 vetoes already this year. The whole league is run by piss and vinegar, spiting anything. It's, oh, I don't like that because that guy's team gets better. We all veto. They are all in a group message and they just fucking go back and forth. Veto, 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 and just everything happens. But if it doesn't get vetoed, he'll allow it to go for 4 days, as opposed to being the commissioner you need, the guy who makes the tough decisions. That's a fair trade. Shit happens. Let's go. He's even allowed vetoes when both teams have said, I like it. Like, let's go. Like, why are we not making this trade? He still keeps it in the open. And that's been the company line. Until 2 days later, there's a trade made in the league, including the commissioner, and his trade is vetoed immediately. Within 3 hours, everybody in the league vetoes the trade.
Right.
Now, while my trade is still out there, hanging in the balance, a guy's offering people $100 a pop for a veto, and they still don't veto because there's no bullshit. His trade's vetoed within 3 hours. Okay, well, that's terrible for me because I'm thinking people are on a veto panic. 40 minutes later, that trade's offered again, amended slightly, but not seriously. And 20 minutes later, it's pushed through by somebody else who has Commissioner League powers.
The key, by somebody else who has powers. The key learning is that this person can't argue that they didn't see that your trade had been on. Like, you can't say, oh, I hadn't checked my computer.
No, there's no bullshit.
They had been on.
Oh, and he's admitted to it. He had partaken in the fire dance that was, I vetoed Don's trade too. They were making celebration. Yeah, let's ruin Don's day. Keep Don with the hurt quarterback, please. Oh, it's been great. They've all been waiting for my demise. I started this league 0-3. I'm now favored to win. I'm going to beat this league.
Even with a dead quarterback.
No, I have Carson Wentz because everybody was so busy vetoing every other trade that after 5 days and 3 push-through trades by other commissioners that come out of the woodwork.
Why do other people have power in these leagues? There should be one, even though ours can't control his own power.
So here we go. So there's the other layer, is that the commissioner that I have in my league, who I call the Shady's Fuck Live, you know who you are. Congratulations on the little lady. Now, but you
beautiful little lady.
Yeah, he knows who he is. But the other commissioner comes out of nowhere. That our commissioner puts that commissioner on blast for making the trade. He gets fucking hot. He's pissed off. Fuck you, I'm revoking your powers. I can't believe you ever did that. Da-da-da-da-da. To which the second quote-unquote commissioner gets hot and goes, how have you not known that I've been able to do this? He gave him powers 5 years ago. Why? To do other collusion shit years ago, which is why I quit the league. So, you want to come on? You want to talk? You know where I'm at. You know my address, bitch. You know the phone number. I opened the phones today. Nothing. I listened to the door. Nothing. Fucking crickets on that end. You're welcome. Anything else?
There's 2 people in power. I mean, we don't even have a commissioner that can control himself.
Yes,
so.
I know. Well, there's supposed to be checks and balances, right? That's been the other commissioner's job. He's just said, I'm trying to be the police of the police. If this is going to get so out of whack, I'm just come in and swoop in. Other than that, be dead quiet.
Get the fuck out of that league. Win it and leave.
Well, it's an uphill battle. It really is, because I haven't lost in the last 5 games. My team's looking pretty good, but I was riding high on the Texans with Watson, but I traded for Wentz, so I mean that's fine. And I've been struggling with tight end. I was starting Zach Miller, but he died, and so I've got Gronk now, which is good. And
all thanks to your effort and nothing that the commissioner couldn't push through. I mean, we have one who pushes a trade through and can't even set his lineup.
Yeah.
But
his own trade through.
Yeah, he's hopeless.
He's the one who pushed that shit through and then didn't set his line. Okay.
That's a little bit of a teaser for next week, and we'll start it
well,
up and we'll get it even more fired up. But you got lukewarm to mildly hot. There was a little bit of heat. You yelled. You raised your voice for the first time in a few weeks. And
Well, it's fucking bullshit. You can't have two people trying to push trades through. You can't deny that you know the other guy has the opportunity to do that. It's all bullshit. My trade's fair, you push it through. A trade's unfair, it's only unfair if there's fucking collusion. That's it. Those are the only options. There's no middle ground. There is no, I don't like what his team looks like when I make that trade, so I'm not going to allow it. And let's all secretly text like some fucking 15-year-old children and going, oh, well, why did you do to see that? That's not fair. Why is it not fair? Well, I don't like it because I wouldn't want to do it. The guy I traded with said, this is why I don't trade, because things like this happen. You know what? If you can't fucking take it, don't play the fucking game, you fucking pussies. The phones will be open next week too, if you've got fucking interest.
That was, I kind of inspired that, which is great. That was this week, and Dono drops it like it's hot, and that's how we're going to end it this week because we've run a little bit long. Sorry if we didn't get to all your matchups. We'll try to do our best to get to them next week, and we're going to do a little preview of a little event we like to call probably the top one. It's the top 3 events of the year.
Might be number 1. It might be my number 1 or 2. Super Bowl's my number 3. So it's probably actually number 2 because draft day is number 1 for me.
Ooh, okay, so you're not throwing in NFC, AFC championship.
Number
day.
1 is draft day. Number 2 is American Thanksgiving. Then conference championships.
Then Super Bowl's 4.
Bowl.
That's
Super Bowl's
unless
4.
the Pats are playing. Which
yes.
won't happen this year.
Yeah, if the Pats.
So this year it'll be number 4, of course. But
Sure. Anyways, but it's always that's how it ranks up for me. And the main thing is because all the other days involve fantasy. And when it comes to the Super Bowl, unfortunately, since I've been a fan of the Pats since 2002, there's
right
been
when
like
they got good.
Yeah, of course. There's been like 1 year that we weren't involved in the Super Bowl. I don't know, something like that. Maybe there was 2. I'm not sure. Recency bias, I think. You know,
all I know is
balls,
all I know is that the last time the Eagles were 8-1, they went to the Super Bowl and they're 8-1. So that's where we stand, and we'll see you in the finals.
Yeah.
Feel free to call in next week. We'll be back Wednesday. We might go a little bit later. Might be around 9:00, depending on if Brad Friend follows through. Phones will be open. The Ashley Sayers inbox is always open.
It's never not been.
We'll be in the Wendy Law Studios bringing it to you live. Thanks for listening. Here's to another 100 views.
Yeah.
Cheers.